I feel a bit vulnerable. I'm pretty sure I have crazy hair. I didn't even look in the mirror. My glasses are very dirty and I just finished exercising. And but it's because I just had this little window to talk to you. So I'm doing this now like this. And what I wanted to tell you was I just finished exercising and that was wonderful. And I'm very grateful for what I was able to do. I definitely had to modify some of the things I was doing because a week ago, Wednesday, I fell out of an elevator. And there's a reason why I'm telling you this, so just bear with me. I'm not just complaining. I thought that the elevator, I didn't think actually, I assumed, or it didn't even cross my mind, whatever the word is for that. I didn't notice that the elevator never actually made it all the way up to the floor that I was getting out on. And I was in a hurry. And so when I stepped out quickly of the elevator, there was like quite a big difference between the floor of the elevator and the floor that I thought I was walking on. And I went flying and I came crashing down on my knee and my shin. And it's been a week and a half and my knee is still very swollen and tender. And the front of my leg is very ugly and sore and swollen. Like very, very colorful, let's say. Why am I telling you this? Well, the thing is that those of you who know me know that I broke my ankle and my heel like 2 years ago now. And the recovery has been very, very long for me. Apparently it's normal for the kind of break I had, but I have found it very, very long and hard to keep motivated and excited about recovery that felt like it was dragging on until recently. Because I actually had made it up to being able to jog 3-minute intervals without pain, which was starting to feel like it would never, ever happen. And so when I hit my knee and I first couldn't even get up off the floor, my first thought was not even like, how am I going to get up or who's going to help me? It was like, no, I was finally able to run 3-minute intervals. That was my first thought. I'm fine. My knee's tender. My back hurts. I've strained my lower back, so that makes life a bit uncomfortable. But honestly, I'm fine. The pain is tolerable, manageable. But the reason why I'm telling you this is because I did not only have this injury, but it happened at a time where. And I've been talking about this off and on since New Year's, where I've been really reevaluating or trying to assess, I guess, which of the 400 balls that I have in the air at one time I want to hang on to and keep juggling, and which ones I think it's maybe time to let go of. So those of you who know me or have been following for some time know that there are quite a few of them up there. I'm a naturopath, a nutritionist, a community worker. I'm a stand-up comic. I produce shows. I sing. I write. I feel like it's a lot, and I love all of it so very much, and many other things as well. I love doing, but I'm starting to feel a bit overwhelmed with the amount I've put on myself to do. So that kind of creates, and I think a lot of people can relate to this feeling often of just kind of going all the time with this feeling of like I don't have enough time, I'm running out of time, there's so many things, I have to do all of these things, and it's a bit anxiety inducing and stressful and whelming. And I was doing a guided meditation kind of challenge thing on Insight Timer the other day. Not a sponsor, not paid by them, not anything. I can't even give you a discount subscription. I just really like them. And one of my favorites on there is Sarah Blondin. And I was doing this challenge where she was guiding a meditation and talking about something personal, where something had occurred in her life that she felt very derailed by. Like seriously, I don't know what the details were, but she was just really, really overwhelmed and feeling like she just couldn't handle anymore. And someone who was very close to her asked her, can you just handle it just today? Like, can you take this on just for today? And she thought, of course, yes, of course I can do this for today only. And then her friend said, that's okay, then that's all you need to do. And then you need to do that same thing tomorrow, and then the day after tomorrow, and then probably the day after that as well. And then Sarah leads us through these breathing exercises, and she asks you to listen for your heartbeat, not just the feeling of it, like really listen for the sound of your heart beating. So that like boom, boom, boom. And she says that, of course, I don't remember her exact words. They were much more eloquent than mine. But the idea was, whatever it is that is feeling overwhelming to you, so whether it's a heartbreak or a tragedy or just incredible stress, or you're trying to achieve something or build something or manifest something, create, and it just feels so much bigger than you're capable of taking on, are you able to just take it on one breath at a time? And does it feel more achievable or tolerable or doable if you're just having to take it on one heartbeat at a time? And for some reason, more than one breath at a time or one day at a time or even one step at a time, for some reason, one heartbeat at a time really resonated with me. And I felt my whole nervous system calming. I have been reminding myself of this many times a day for the last few days, ever since I heard her say it. And I have found it incredibly helpful. And I just really, really wanted to share with you because I love it so much. I just love it. And for lack of any better segue, another thing that I really love is olive oil cake, which has nothing to do with any of this. Although I do love baking when I'm feeling overwhelmed. For some reason, it feels very loving as a task, maybe because I don't know why. It doesn't matter. I was going to start trying to analyze it, but it doesn't matter. It just makes me feel cozy, and there's something very nurturing feeling about it, about cooking in general, but baking is especially sweet. Where was I going with this? Oh yes, olive oil cake. So this is a blood orange olive oil cake recipe that I'm sharing with you. I think we've made one together before last spring, lemon one. So this is very similar. I will be very honest with you and tell you that first of all, that you'll notice some inconsistency in the video simply because I actually made a few of them for a few different occasions on a few different days, and I filmed all of it and just kind of pieced together the different shots that seem to fit well together. So there's that. But funny story is that in one of them, the first one, I think, was it the first cake? I accidentally used avocado oil instead of olive oil. For some reason, this made me panic. And I was like, can you even do that? Which is silly because it was actually delicious. And for people who don't love the taste of olive oil, or who find that in an olive oil cake that's too strong, I don't. I love olive oil cakes, but some people find that taste of the olive oil is too strong. The avocado oil cake, I found you couldn't taste the oil at all. So maybe that's something you might want to try on purpose. And anyway, I tried a few different recipes for this, and the one that I finally found made like a really delicious moist oil cake, but also was kind of a bit lighter, was one where I substituted about a quarter of the olive oil for applesauce, which is not very Italian of me, but actually worked really, really well, and I recommend it. So let me share that with you. One of the recipes that I tried called for quite a bit of the blood orange juice. The one that I finally decided on, it only called for a few tablespoons. And as long as your blood oranges are really ripe and flavorful, that should probably be enough. You're also going to add 2 tablespoons roughly of the blood orange zest as well to the batter. And then also make sure that you have probably about a tablespoon or 2 for the sugar topping that's going to go on the top. I put some parchment paper on the bottom of my pan because it's not always the best for not sticking, and then I brushed it lightly with a bit of olive oil. If you don't use the parchment paper, your top will probably come out more golden and crispy than mine did. And well, if you ask me, that's a good thing, but you have to have a pan that you're pretty confident won't stick. The next thing you do is put the slices of blood orange all lined at the bottom of the pan, and you can take the peels off if you want to. I don't, because I really love the peels, especially with the sugar that's going to be sprinkled on them. It's kind of a tart but sweet. It's like marmalade, and I love marmalade. If you hate marmalade, maybe take the peels off, but I love marmalade, so this is how I like to do it. Then I take about, how much? Maybe I'd say a 1/4 cup of sugar, and I mix that extra orange zest in with the sugar. And then I'm gonna sprinkle that, well, I did already. I sprinkled that all over the oranges that are in the bottom of the pan. This also kind of caramelizes the peel of the orange a bit, and maybe takes away from the bitterness a little. Not completely though. I took 1/2 cup of unsweetened applesauce, a cup of non-dairy milk, and then the other half of the orange zest, and mix that together with 3/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil. I whisked that up really, really well. And then in another bowl, I have my 2 cups of all-purpose flour, as well as about a cup of granulated sugar, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and a generous pinch of salt. So we'll say about a teaspoon of salt. And theoretically, I would have sifted that together, but I didn't. But sometimes I just use a whisk. I find it does the job. I made a well in the bottom of the dry ingredients, and I poured in the wet ingredients and stirred that until it was well incorporated. But be mindful not to over stir, because you don't want your cake to be tough or overly dense because you've activated the gluten. Once your batter is all mixed, you pour that over your orange slices as you would if you were making an upside down cake, which essentially this pretty much is, because once your cake is well baked at 350 degrees, mine took about an hour, so it depends. If you have a smaller pan and the cake is deeper, it might take a bit longer than that. But once it's done, you're gonna flip your cake over so that the part that's showing on the top is your beautiful orange slices. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. It means a tremendous amount to me. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel and liked this video, please do. It helps so much, and by all means share it. Share it with anyone else that you think might enjoy it. If you are a Patreon subscriber, I just don't have the words. I feel like I just say the same thing every time, but I'm just so very grateful that you are contributing to the work that I'm doing and helping to make it possible. Thank you so much. If you are someone who would like to work one-on-one with me for naturopathy or nutrition, there is a booking link in the description below, and I meet with clients virtually and in person here in Montreal. I'll be back very, very soon. So in the meantime, take very good care of yourselves. And if you're finding that hard to do, try doing it just one heartbeat at a time.